How to stop procrastinating when fear is the real problem. Have you ever felt this? You have something important to do, a project, an exam, an awkward email, a pending conversation. You know you should start, but instead you open Instagram, or you clean the kitchen, or you spend 3 hours researching how to organize yourself better without actually organizing anything. And at the end of the day, you tell yourself, I'm a procrastinator. I just don't have discipline. I always do the same thing. But what if it wasn't a lack of discipline? What if it wasn't laziness? What if the real problem was fear? Today we are going to talk about that, about how to stop procrastinating when fear is the real engine behind your block. And not from a place of guilt, but from science, understanding, and practical tools that you can start applying today. Because procrastinating isn't always laziness. Sometimes it is misunderstood self-protection.
The great revelation: you don't procrastinate because of laziness, you procrastinate for protection. Let me tell you something important. Procrastination isn't a time management problem, it's an emotional management problem. When you postpone something important, your brain isn't thinking, I'm going to sabotage my future. It's thinking, this makes me feel uncomfortable, better avoid that feeling. And here is the key. The emotion that is most often behind procrastination is fear. Fear of failing, fear of doing it wrong, fear of being judged, fear of discovering you aren't as capable as you thought, or even fear that you are and that it might change your identity. What you call, I don't feel like it, is often, I'm afraid and I don't want to feel it. And that completely changes the conversation, doesn't it? Because if the problem isn't laziness but fear, then the solution isn't more pressure, it's more strategic understanding.
Explanation of the mechanism. What is happening in your brain? Let's understand this with science, but without getting complicated. Imagine your brain has 2 main systems right now. The emotional system, fast, instinctive. The rational system, slow, planning. When you think about starting that important project, your prefrontal cortex, the rational part, says, this is good for our future. Let's start. But if that project triggers fear, the amygdala enters the scene, which is like your brain's internal alarm. The amygdala doesn't distinguish very well between a tiger in the jungle and a potential professional failure. If something threatens your self-esteem, your status, or your emotional security, it reacts the same way. It activates stress, it releases cortisol, and your body enters survival mode. And what does survival mode do? Avoid the danger. And here is the interesting part. When you postpone the task, your brain feels immediate relief. That relief releases dopamine, a small reward. So your brain learns something very clear. If we avoid this, we feel better. And the cycle is reinforced. You don't procrastinate because you are weak. You procrastinate because your nervous system learned that avoiding is safer than facing. Identify the real fear. I want you to do something with me now. Think of something you are postponing. Now ask yourself, what am I really afraid of? Not the superficial answer, the deep one. For example, I'm not starting my business. Why? Because it might not work. And if it doesn't work, what would that mean? That I am a failure. There it is. Procrastination almost always protects your identity. It's not the project that is scary, it's what that project says about you. And as long as you don't identify the real fear, you will keep trying to solve the problem with productivity techniques, when in reality, it is an emotional problem. Tool 1. Micro-exposure to fear. If fear is the problem, we need to work with it, not against it. In psychology, we know that avoiding fear strengthens it. Facing it gradually weakens it. So instead of finishing the project, the goal will be expose myself to the project for 5 minutes. Only 5. Not to do it perfectly, not to make a lot of progress, just to sit with the discomfort. This does something powerful. It teaches your nervous system that you are not in real danger. It's like dipping your toe in cold water instead of jumping in all at once. 5 minutes today, 5 tomorrow, and your brain begins to recalibrate. Tool 2. Separate your identity from the result. This is key. Many of us procrastinate because we confuse doing something wrong with being something wrong. If the project fails, it doesn't mean you are a failure. It means the project didn't work as you expected. But when your identity is fused with the result, the emotional risk is enormous. I propose this exercise. Before starting, say out loud, "My value as a person does not depend on how this turns out." It seems simple, but you are sending a direct signal to your threat system. You are reducing the perceived risk. And when the risk goes down, action increases. Tool 3. The horrible draft rule. Perfectionism is fear disguised as high standards. So we are going to do something radical. Allow yourself to do it badly, on purpose. Write the most mediocre draft. Make the most basic presentation. Record the most imperfect video. When you give yourself permission to do it badly, you take power away from fear, because fear needs perfection to survive. Imperfect action disarms it. Tool 4. Physiological regulation before action. Remember, procrastinating is an emotional state. It cannot be solved with willpower alone. You cannot be creative or productive if your body thinks you are being chased. Regulate your nervous system to enter your window of tolerance, that state where the mind is neither collapsed nor in a panic, but ready to work. Before starting something that intimidates you, regulate your nervous system. Breathe slowly for 2 minutes. Exhale longer than you inhale. Relax your shoulders. Feel your feet on the ground. This tells your brain, we are safe. And when the body feels safe, the mind cooperates. Important warning. It is fundamental to understand that for a neurodivergent brain, procrastination is not a character flaw. It is a difficulty in executive function. If you have ADHD, for example, procrastination may be more related to dopamine regulation than pure fear. In that case, combining micro-exposure with external stimuli, timers, music, virtual co-working, may be more effective. If you are highly sensitive, fear of judgment may be especially intense. Here, working with self-compassion is fundamental. And if there is clinical anxiety or depression, procrastination may be a symptom, not the root. In those cases, seeking professional support is not weakness, it is strategy. Not everything is willpower. Sometimes it is neurochemistry, and that also deserves respect. Self-compassion. Stop talking to yourself like an enemy. Guilt does not make you productive. It makes you more scared. Every time you tell yourself, "I'm a mess," your nervous system hears a threat, and more threat means more avoidance. Try this instead. "I understand that I am afraid, and even so, I'm going to take a small step." That is real bravery, not the absence of fear, but action in spite of it. The identity shift. Here comes the powerful part. It's not about becoming someone who never procrastinates. It's about becoming someone who understands their fear and acts anyway. The difference is enormous. One fights against themselves. The other cooperates with themselves. And when you cooperate with yourself, you move forward. Clear and direct summary. You procrastinate because something scares you. The brain seeks immediate relief. Avoiding gives dopamine, and the cycle is reinforced. The solution is not more pressure, it is less threat. Identify the real fear. Do micro-exposure. Separate identity from result. Allow yourself to do it badly. Regulate your nervous system. Practice self-compassion. That changes the game. Remember, procrastination gives you peace today, but it steals your confidence tomorrow. Every time you avoid something, your fear grows larger and you grow smaller in your own eyes. Break that cycle today. And now I leave you with an important question. What would happen if today you didn't try to finish everything and you only tried to beat that fear for 5 minutes? 5 minutes can break a pattern of years. Remember this, you are not lazy. You are not broken. Your brain is trying to protect you, but you no longer need that protection to survive. Now you can choose to grow. Before you close this video, I want to ask you to make a pact of honesty down below. Comment what is that real fear you identified today. Sometimes naming it and writing it down takes away 50% of its power over you. Like if this video has helped you treat yourself with a little more compassion and less guilt. That helps us get the message to more people who are feeling lazy today when they are actually scared. Subscribe if you want to continue receiving practical psychology tools that respect your nervous system and enhance your mental health. Thank you for your time and for your bravery. Remember that you are not broken. You are just learning to navigate your emotions. Sending you a hug. See you in the next video.